Good morning. My name is Tyrone Kemp. I decided I was going to use this YouTube format to make a video. And I will make a video about my situation. You see, in 1991, June of 1991, a total armored truck was robbed in the city of Detroit. It was robbed on 4th and 3rd in front of the University Village Market. It was robbed around, I'm still confused as to the time. The armored truck pulled up allegedly at the crime scene at 11:51. Someone called the police at 11:31 and said that Tyrone Kemp robbed that truck. This call was made to 911 call. It was made by someone that called and told the police that Tyrone Kemp robbed that truck. The police then took my picture to the scene, the crime scene. And upon taking my picture to the crime scene, witnesses were located. And one witness looked at the picture and said, "I resemble the guy." He said, "I resemble the guy." Another witness that was too far away even stated that they saw the robber, that they saw it from 4 or 5 blocks away, and that they saw the gun in my hand. There was another witness that said that they saw me running down the street. Witnesses didn't say the guys didn't run the way that the guy said he saw me running with a blue bag in my hand. There was a gun that was taken from the armored truck guard. I'm gonna get back to that. But what I'm doing is I'm giving you our narrative of what happened to me. I served 17 and a half years in prison for this crime that I did not commit. And I have been in every court you could think of, all with the United States Supreme Court. And I have not gotten any justice. I've been free 11 years, and I have gotten no justice. So in 1991, witnesses identified a picture of me, stating that I was one of the guys that robbed the armored truck. The armored truck guard allegedly said that 2 guys approached him, hit him upside the head, and took his gun and ran off into the moon, ran off. His story did not concur with his co-worker, who was the driver of the truck. She said I was not one of the guys that she saw running. And she said this in court. And she wrote a statement that it was not me. There was another young lady eyewitness that was at the scene, seeing 2 guys walk past her. She was worried about her bike being stolen. She had her bike sitting in front of the telephone pole because she worked at this bar. And she seen the 2 guys. And she said I was not one of either one of them. I was convicted by Prentice Edwards. I was convicted by a jury. My attorney, Marge Braxton, never did any type of investigation. She never looked into the case no more than coming down to see me 6 months after I had been locked up. She didn't show no interest in doing nothing toward this case. And all she do now, I talked to her now currently, she said she can't remember it. Of course she's not going to remember her injustice. She did no investigation. Because if she would have did investigation, she would have known all this stuff that I know now. Marge Braxton was my trial attorney. She later became chief judge in Recorder's Court. So during my appeal, nobody would go against her. Nobody would say that she was ineffective. Nobody would step against her because they did not want to mess up her career. So I sat in prison for 17 and a half years for the ineffective assistance of counsel. Marge Braxton, attorney Marge Braxton, former judge Marge Braxton. And I spent this time in prison for her, being inadequate, not investigating this case. But let me get back to it. I remember when I first got locked up in jail, they wasn't telling me too much about the case. They just was accusing me of robbing it. They never told me no information about the alleged second person. They never identified him. But it was supposed to be 2 people. But yet I went to prison for something I didn't do by myself. Well, I'm going to tell you all something. My family committed this crime. My uncle Robert Kemp, a witness said that one of the robber guy name was Rob. I found out recently through an auntie who confessed everything to me that Rob is Robert Kemp. My uncle robbed the armored truck, and my uncle Donnie participated. You remember when I told y'all that the witness said that I resemble the guy? Well, you can ask anybody that know me. All my life, all I've been hearing is I look like my uncle Donnie. I can show y'all pictures of me and him right now. You'll think we look alike. We do. So when the little boy said that when the armored, excuse me, I ain't gonna say it. When the little boy said I resembled the guy, he wasn't talking about me. He was talking about my uncle Donnie Kemp. He was at the scene of the crime with my uncle Robert Kemp. Preston Ringo is my cousin Charlene Kemp's husband. He's deceased now. He was friends with the armored truck guard. There's a possibility that he lived right downstairs in the same two-family flat house. Or it was a possibility that he lived right next door. But the fact remains that they knowed each other. They stayed on the same street. And that my family knows this guy, Timothy. As recent 6-month relative told me that he's like a family friend. So he has connections to my family. This armored truck guard, Timmy Worthington, who was the armored guard truck that also said I resemble the guy. But I found out his involvement when he's related, when I have an uncle that was dating his niece. And all these people that I'm talking about have been in security. My uncle Sherman, he was a security guard, an ex-Marine. My uncle Lou Von Kemp, ex-military, security. Preston, Timmy Worthington, security. And that's the connection that I have to this case. That the armored truck guard, Timmy Worthington, was friends of my family. And that he set up and orchestrated the robbery that my uncle Robert Kemp and Donnie Kemp did. I spent 17 and a half years in prison for that. I spent time in prison for something I didn't do, something that my relatives knew I didn't do. But yet I've taken this to Kim Worthy. I've taken it to the wrongfully conviction unit, integrity unit. I've taken it to lawyers. I've taken it to the media. And no one is doing anything about it. But I am. I refuse to give up. I refuse to submit to injustice. I refuse to just walk away. No, we still gonna fight. Because I'm a fighter. And what do fighters do? Fighters fight. But I want y'all to understand one thing. Winners win and losers lose. I don't know how else to tell y'all that. And God did not bring me here this far to lose. I have been involved with this case going on 30 years. And I have tried everything you could think of. I did not receive a fair trial. My trial attorney, my trial judge, Prentice Edwards, is a church man. He goes to a big church in Detroit. And it's nothing in his conscience can touch him, to tell the truth. Why? These people say they love God. My old trial attorney, I'm a Christian, I'm born again. But you're not doing the right thing. You're not standing up for truth. You're not standing up for truth. You're not doing nothing. And God is going to break this wide open real soon. Mark my words. Justice is going to come in my life. And I just want to share that because I need to talk about to the top of the roofs. I'm going to let everybody know what has been done to me. What has been done to me is just as wrong as putting your foot on my neck, choking me out. But they choke me out in the criminal justice system, which is a failure. A complete failure. Anytime innocent men and women are in prison, the system is a failure. The system is a failure. When one innocent man is in prison, the system is a failure. And we live in a society where cases like mine get overlooked. Because guess what? I done did the time. Every single day of that sentence I did. No good time, no breaks, no parole. Flat out discharged me for a crime I did not commit. And so this armored truck robbery was not, it was investigated by police officers with their first day on the street. Yes, a rookie investigated this case. And he was given some information from the Wayne State University police, and he ran with it. He didn't do no more investigation when they brought my picture to the scene of the crime. He didn't do nothing else. He didn't even know that there was another case that I was charged of that was dismissed. Yeah, it was 3 of them. In 1991, I had 3 counts of armed robbery. 2 of them was dismissed because they know beyond a doubt I wasn't the one. Pictures on this, y'all know about that check cashing place on Woodward and Peterborough. They accused me of robbing that. They said they had a picture. We get to trial, they dismissed it the day before trial, said, no, we ain't going with it, this ain't him. And then they had another case where a lady named Joanne Anderberg said that I snatched her purse. I was up in the hospital the night that happened, up under lock and key. So these robberies was happening in the Wayne State University area. And my uncle Robert Kemp lived down there on Woodward near Peterborough. My uncle Robert Kemp lived down in that area. And if he was down there robbing people, my uncle Donnie Kemp was. So maybe that's how these people were saying they saw me. Maybe that's how misidentification happened. I know for a fact I did not rob that armored truck. And I know for a fact that I've been set up and I've been railroaded, I've been set down. And I know one thing for sure, I'm not giving up. And I'm going to make a video every single day. And I'm going to send it out to everybody. And I'm going to tell everybody what has happened to me. Because what has happened to me is wrong. And what the devil meant for bad, God is going to turn it around for good. And I'll see you all tomorrow.